Okay folks, here we are with the Dervish with the drop through hole. Pretty weird looking, yes it is. The first step setting up a drop through board is you gotta take your truck apart. This is the Gullwing Charger truck in silver. So take your T-tool or a 9/16 wrench and you turn counterclockwise and you loosen the kingpin nut, falls off, take off the washer, and out comes the bushing. Okay? I'll just take it all off now. So, now the second part is you take your bottom of the truck and you gotta turn it over and you want to take your hardware and you want to stick it through the truck. Okay? Now, an easy part for the next step is you take this and you turn it upside down like so. Okay, loaded uses risers. This just kind of protects the board a little bit. It sits on top of the board right here and it kind of protects the top of the deck. You can take your own risers and cut them up just like this, real thin. Now, because the objective of these is to sit right in here. Now if it's down on the ground like this, it's very easy to put these on. It can be very frustrating if it's not on the ground. See that? So those fit right there, folks. Beautiful, huh? Now what this is going to do is you're going to turn your truck over. You want to make sure you have your kingpin, which is this, pointing forward. See how it's pointing forward? And that's going to drop right in through the deck. You're going to line up the holes and you're going to hope it all goes in smooth. And oh, it does. Goes in smooth butter. So that's it. Now the next step is going to be tightening down these bolts. We use these washers. See right here? You can get these at Home Depot, anywhere. Standard little washers. And this sits right there. This just protects the nut from digging into the deck. So I'm just going to tighten one because it's not that entertaining. Now a good way to tighten your nut is think about this rule right here. When you're tightening, you don't want to over tighten or under tighten. I'll turn the T-tool till I feel a little bit of resistance. Right about now. And then with that resistance, I'm just going to give it a couple little more pushes and bam, you're done. You don't want to crank down your nut super hard because that can put stress on the deck. Okay? Again, see how that washer just kind of protects the nut from digging into the deck. Alright, look at that folks. Magically, this one's done. Hot dog. So, pretend this is off. Now we're going to put the truck back on. Alright, so basically with a truck setup you have a bigger bottom bushing and a smaller top bushing. See, as you can see the size differences. See that? So always a cup washer down, then the bigger bushing. You want the wider end facing up because the wider ends are going to go on the truck. Put the truck on. Then you take a smaller bushing, wider part, bam, cup washer, find your nut, and give it a nice good old tighten. Now, when tightening trucks, what I do to see how tight my trucks are is, as you can see now, it's flush right here. If I want my trucks equally tight, I'll tighten one truck down, and see, now I can start to see a thread. There's a thread sticking out right here. See that? And so I know this truck is one thread tight. So then I can tighten my back truck. Imagine there's a truck there, one thread tight as well. So I know they're the same tightness. Okay, let's go over how to put on wheels. And a good way to start is taking off wheels so I can show you how to take out bearings, because hopefully you all know how to do this. Hear that construction? That's construction, alright folks. You live in a city, you get construction. So, alright, a good way to take out a bearing is, if you look, I put this through the hole here, this is going to be hard to film. See how that goes all the way in? You don't want it to go all the way in, the axle. You want it to go right on the edge of the bearing, right in the bearing middle, and then you pry, and it pops out. That's simple, folks. So to put a bearing on, the truck comes with 2 speed rings. There is a flatter side, and then there's a smoother side, a rounded side. You want the smoother side touching the bearing, so you're going to face it up. Smoother side up, put on bearing. Now I usually take the wheel and turn it backwards and do this part first. And I usually push down with my palms, rotate, push down, rotate, push down, hey, it's in. Then take the other bearing, put it on. We use bearing spacers. You don't have to use these, they help. Put it on. Now the wheel's frontwards. Again with the palms, push, rotate, push, and it's all good. Then you take your second speed ring. These are always easy to lose. Smooth side again on the bearing. Now with bearing spacers, you can tighten down the wheel all the way. That's what bearing spacers do, there's no play. So you tighten down to a point where there is no play, and look, the wheel will still spin. Now it's not going to spin forever, it's just going to spin a little bit. Now if you don't have bearing spacers, what I do is I don't tighten them all the way, I tighten them so there's a little bit of a click. Yeah, it's a little bit of a click right here. And that way it'll roll forever and you're good. Alright, that's basically how to set up a Dervish, folks. I think it's very important once in your life to set up a drop-through board. As you can see, the risers are here protecting the deck. Again, not necessary, but it helps. Alright, go out there, have fun.